One of the biggest fears I think course creators or aspiring course creators have is, what if my course doesn't sell? What if I put all of this work into a course and then crickets? Okay, so let's talk about some ways to ensure your course sells. And there's really four kind of main things you need to consider and make sure that you understand in order to make sure your course sells. And it starts with a course topic, because I really do believe that you can make a course in any niche. However, it needs to be a topic that is profitable and measurable so that people understand what outcome they are receiving when they purchase this course. Okay, so I tell my students and anyone that I coach, when you're thinking about a course topic, you want to consider profitability, meaning, can you make money with this? Because you don't want to spend all of this time creating a course and then no one buys it and then you don't make any money. So there's really three profitability factors that I teach. The first one is, can you choose a course topic that is a need versus a want? A need versus a want. So a need would be something like, you can make money or get out of debt or get a job, something to do with your livelihood and money. It can be something to do with your health or healing, and it can be something to do with relationships, like parenting is a huge one, very profitable. So if you can choose a course topic and you're knowledgeable about a course topic in a need niche versus a want niche would be something more like a hobby, like painting or crafting, then typically that course is going to be more profitable. Now, do you have to choose a topic in a need niche? No, you don't have to, but I've just seen that those are more profitable, and it makes sense, right? With a course about making money or saving money or getting out of debt, people can see the ROI, the return on investment in that. Same thing with health. They don't see the return on their money, but they see the return on their energy or their time. With parenting, they see a return on their sanity. If you're talking about like parenting a toddler and you're just going crazy, or getting your infant to sleep through the night, they're desperate for that solution. So that's a need. Now, if you're thinking, I can't teach on anything that's a need, that's okay. Then you would move on to the next profitability factor, which is, has someone else already successfully sold a course in the niche that you want to create a course about? So do some research, see if someone else has already been successful with this, and that will show you that there is a want or a desire in the market for this topic. Now you may be thinking, why would I want to create a course that someone else has already created? Well, you're not going to create the same exact course. Never ever copy someone else. That's lame. But you can take the same topic and put your own spin and teaching style and framework and personality into it. And people will resonate with you over someone else because of who you are. Maybe you are a mom of young kids. Other moms of young kids are going to resonate with you. They're going to understand the references that you make. So they'll be more drawn to you versus someone who maybe isn't like that. Or your personality, your teaching styles, or your values. That's what's going to draw people to you versus someone else. Or maybe you have a really unique method, and you should have your own framework or way of solving a problem that someone else is not using, and people will be drawn to that. So you can differentiate yourself, but it's a great indication, if someone else has already been successful in this niche, that you could also be successful. Now, if you can't meet either of those factors, so you can't solve a need, you can't find anybody who has created a course successfully, it's going to be riskier, but it's not impossible. And I know, because when I created my course for math teachers back in 2019, I was not solving a need. I was just teaching teachers how to make resources for their classroom. I hadn't even gotten into how to sell them yet. When I first launched that course, it had nothing to do with making money. No one else was teaching math teachers how to create resources. So I was like the first one to talk about how to make graphs and geometric figures. But I did meet the third profitability factor, which is, are people asking questions about this? Do they want to learn about this? And I knew they were because I had people in my personal life, my colleagues, and even people on social media ask me, how are you doing this? How did you make that graph? And I knew we weren't taught this in college, but teachers needed to know how to do this, especially if they didn't have a software on their computer that made worksheets for them, which many did not. I knew that I didn't have a textbook, so I needed resources, and many other teachers also did not have a textbook. So I knew this was a need, and so I just went for it. It was risky, and I will say it was easier to sell courses back then than it is now because there are so many more courses on the market now, and the economy is a lot different now, but it worked. So you want to make sure that you fit one of those 3 profitability factors when choosing your topic. Can you solve a need? If not, has someone else already successfully sold a course in this niche? And if not, are people asking about this? Either people in your personal life. You can also do some research online. You use websites like answerthepublic.com, ubersuggest.com. Those websites tell you what people are typing into Google. So you know if people are typing this into Google, they want to know about it. Now, that doesn't always mean they'll pay for it. So you kind of have to be real with yourself on number 3 and ask yourself, okay, this topic sounds really cool to me, but are people really going to pay for this? I mean, really, will they pay for this? Because it's just risky. It's risky. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just a risk that you may or may not want to take. Okay, so that's kind of like the first thing to think about is your topic. The second thing to think about when you want to make sure your course sells is you have to have an audience. You cannot sell a course to an audience of 0. You can have the most amazing course, and I've talked about this a lot, but if no one knows about it, then no one's going to buy it. It's going to be crickets. So that's why I teach my students that as you are starting to, you've already chosen a topic, as you're starting to outline your course, even start creating the first module or 2 of your course, you want to be building your audience at the same time. And I have had other episodes about this, but the way to have an audience is to have an email list. So go back. I have a few episodes about email lists, about how to get started, about how to grow your email list. That one is coming. So you want to make sure that you have eyeballs on your sales page when you have this course. Otherwise, of course, no one's going to buy it. And I wouldn't rely on social media. Like if you have a certain amount of social media followers, that could result in course sales, but not always. Not always. An email list, though, has been proven to result in sales. Okay, so choose a profitable course topic. Make sure you have an audience via an email list. And then the third thing to consider is your marketing and your copywriting. If you don't know what copywriting is, it's just the words that you use in your marketing. So the words you use in your emails and on your sales pages and even on Instagram or whatever, if you use social media and your long form content like blogging or a podcast. And the best way to make sure that you are using the right words is to do market research. One of my favorite places to do market research is actually in Facebook groups. And I talk about this with my students a lot. It's a great way to grow your email list actually from a Facebook group, but before you even do that, you can use it for market research to see what people are asking, what language they're using. Pat Flynn says, and I think it's in his book, Will It Fly, know your audience's problems and know how your audience describes their problems. Because if you can mimic the language that your audience is using, when they read your email and when they read your sales page, they're going to think to themselves, wow, that's exactly how I feel. It's like she's in my brain. She knows exactly how I feel. I want to buy from her. So when you can do that and you nail your copywriting, that is one of the best ways to make sure your course sells. Because again, you can have an amazing course topic and you can have, a great audience. But if you don't tell your audience in the best way how amazing your course is, if you don't package it in a way that's irresistible, then they're not going to understand the value of your course. Even if they really want the transformation your course offers, if the wording that you're using in your marketing materials doesn't resonate with them, then they will probably go to someone else who has a similar course, but they resonate with them. And you're not going to resonate with everyone, so that's okay. It's okay to repel people, but you want to make sure that you're actually drawing people to you as well. All right, so marketing, copywriting, that's really important. And then the last piece is your first launch of your course. I recommend having a beta launch. So when you are ready to start selling your course, before you even finish the course, I recommend going through a beta launch. And what that means is you only create 1, 2, 3 max modules of your course, and then you open it up to your email list and social media, whatever, and you tell them, like, this is the first time I'm launching this course. You're going to get either a steep discount, maybe it's like half off, or you're going to get something amazing like live coaching. You can do a live round. There's a lot of different ways to do a beta launch to make it really irresistible. And what's great about that is if no one buys during the beta launch, you haven't spent all of this time creating the whole course and you know something is not right. And what you can do is send your audience, your email list, a why didn't you buy email. And that gives you some really great data. Maybe it's the price, but maybe it's just that's not something they're looking for, which means it's probably your marketing and your copywriting. And you need to talk to your audience more and see what they want and get their language and then use their language in your marketing. Maybe hire a copywriter. That's a possibility too if you're not a writer. Another great thing about beta launching is the people that go through your course for the first time, you are going to love on them and you are going to serve them better than anyone else. Like, they are going to get the best of you and the best of this course. You are going to adjust your course as they go through it. Maybe they're like, I don't understand how you got from here to here. Can you help me? And then you can fill in that gap. Or maybe they say, yeah, this piece wasn't really needed and you can get rid of it. So they will help you build out the rest of your course. And they are going to give you the best testimonials because you have served them so well. Remember, you want to serve as much as possible. You want to help people. Have a good heart in this and make sure you're doing this for the right reasons. It's not just to make money. You want those people to get the transformation that your course offers, and you want to help them as much as possible to do that. And because you are serving so well, you're going to get great testimonials. And testimonials, social proof, is a great way to ensure your course sells when you get ready to launch it after it's completed. Okay, so just to recap those, the 4 areas you want to think about to make sure that your course sells. Make sure you have a profitable course topic. Think about those profitability factors. Can I solve a need? Or has someone else already successfully done this? Or are people actively looking for a solution to this problem? And are they going to pay for that solution? Make sure your copywriting, your marketing, your messaging is on point. Get into Facebook groups. Talk to your audience. See the language they are using to describe their problems. See what they want and need, and then use that language in your sales page and in your email marketing. Make sure I skipped over one. Make sure you have an audience. That's second. Make sure that you are growing an audience as you are outlining your course and building your course, and that means growing an email list. And then finally, make sure that you beta launch before your course is even finished to save you the headache of creating an entire course and no one buys and then you don't know why. Just create a couple of modules, and if no one buys, you didn't waste a ton of time. You can adjust and then relaunch, because it's usually, I would say like 90% of the time, it's not because people just absolutely don't want this topic. It's usually the messaging piece. Like they're interested in this, but the messaging, your marketing didn't show them how irresistible your course is going to be. Okay, so those are the things to think about to make sure that your course sells. I hope this was so helpful. And I just want to say, don't let the fear of selling 0 courses hold you back, because even if you're 100% confident on all of these fronts, you still may have that fear. I still get that fear, and I've been launching for like 5 years, and every launch I'm like, what if no one buys? So it's normal. Don't let it hold you back. But also make sure that you're smart and you're making smart decisions and you are checking off these boxes to have a successful course launch.